does what you wear change how you show up, change your productivity? Does it change your performance on some level? Hi, I am Monique Took and welcome back to In Her Era. I want to take us back to 2020, where we were all locked in our houses, where we literally couldn't go anywhere except for to social distance at the grocery store 1.5 meters away. Everyone had to work from home, except for me. I was a physio at the time, working in the hospital. I was in ICU. I was covered in PPE, mask, this weird face shield thing. I literally got the worst mask knee from that situation because I was just breathing in my congested air. So I was actually envious for the girls at home. The girls that got to wear their hoodies and their giant Stanley cups. And when they had to jump on a Zoom call, they'd quickly put on a blazer and their cute little reading glasses for their 9 a.m. morning call. It's like that Zoom uniform, business on the top, trackies on the bottom. That's what was going on in COVID. But then lockdown ended. Then we could all emerge from the situation. And in Australia, we were in this weird what do we wear situation where it was we wear activewear everywhere. We wear home clothes to the shops. It's the low effort, low maintenance activewear vibe. Maybe we didn't even know how to put an outfit together anymore. And I was exactly the same. I wore activewear everywhere, whether that was working from home, whether that was going to the shops. It was just me, Lululemon tight, chuck on a pair of sneakers, because in my brain, I was if I'm in activewear, it doesn't matter if the rest of myself doesn't look put together because I've just worked out. It made more sense if my hair wasn't done and I had no makeup on if I was in activewear. For me, in my brain, it felt less embarrassing in a way. I still looked presentable because my activewear is cute, but it was low effort. And maybe that's just living in Australia. Activewear is definitely a uniform in Australia. It looks hot, it's comfy, it's very versatile. Athleisure wear, I think just that's what we wear. But what I noticed on the days that I actually got dressed, and what I mean by getting dressed is getting out of my pajamas, not wearing comfy clothes, actually feeling really good about what I looked like, my productivity increased. I was more focused. I held myself a different way. I felt more confident walking into the shops. I knew I looked good. And it wasn't I was wearing a fabulous outfit. It was just I had a little bit of makeup on, my eyebrows were on point, maybe my hair was done, I had jewelry on. A little bit of work into my appearance changed how I showed up. And I don't think that feeling that way or wanting to put effort into what we're wearing, I don't think that's vain. I think it's an act of self-respect. I think it's an act of becoming who you want to be. How would your future self show up? How would she step into a room? How would your best, most confident self look? So knowing what that did to me, knowing how I felt, I wanted to know, does what you wear change how you show up, change your productivity? Does it change your performance on some level? Or is it just this placebo effect that we're having a great hair day? So obviously I went in deep to find the receipts because I needed to know. So today we are talking about the art of getting dressed, the biology behind getting dressed, feeling put together, what the research actually says about getting dressed and your clothes does to your brain. And the practical, zero effort strategies for the working at home girls who want to feel more productive, more confident, but don't want to spend an hour getting ready or dressing to the nines. Or for the girls on the weekend who just want to look put together without a ton of effort. That's what this episode is. So when I dived into the research, what I found so interesting is there's actually a psychological phenomenon called enclothed cognition. So in 2012, research from the Northwestern University coined this term after what they found. And they found that the clothes that you physically wear and the meaning that you attach or associate with those clothes actually change how you think and perform. So as an example, in the study, participants who wore a doctor's lab coat actually showed significantly higher sustained attention than those who wore the same lab coat but was told it was a painter's coat. It was the same coat, different meaning attached to it, different performance levels, which means it's not just about how you look. It's not just about feeling cute and getting compliments from people because you look on point. It's about the meaning that your brain attaches to it, the signal that you're telling your brain when you're wearing this type of outfit. So if that was us, you and I are not sitting around in lab coats, how does this apply to us? So if you're sitting here in your tracksuit, in your comfy clothes, working from home, no makeup, no hair done, if you said, I would not wear that in public, but this is what you're wearing, the tracksuit, the comfy clothes, your brain associates that outfit generally with rest, with Netflix, with being at home, with in bed, with reading, with basically not being productive. That's the signal it's receiving. But if you put on something you would wear for a meeting, you put on a great outfit, your gold jewelry, a bit of makeup, your hair's done, maybe your nails are done, what does your brain associate with that? That's the girl who gets shit done. That's a girl who's confident in any room she walks into. You feel better, you hold yourself better. Your brain will perform accordingly. You're going to be more focused in that situation than you are in your tracksuit pants. Similar to this one, a 2015 study from Columbia University and California State University found that the clothes that they picked, so the type of clothes, actually had a direct impact on how you think and make decisions. So specifically, participants who picked more formal clothing compared to like more casual home clothes actually activated more abstract thinking. So on testing, they performed like a 5.04 score when they wore formal clothes compared to 3.99 to the ones that wore like casual clothes. And abstract thinking, increased abstract thinking that occurs when you wear more formal clothes is that type of thinking behind long-term goals, vision planning, strategic decisions, like big picture creativity and campaigning and like ideas for your future and your business or your career. And fashion psychologist Dawn Karen actually talks about this too. She calls this type of phenomenon dopamine dressing. So wearing something that you associate as feeling confident in actually activates your brain's reward circuit and physically shifts your emotional baseline. And it works in 3 ways, like directly. The clothes activate a feeling, like you feel really good in it, you feel confident. Behaviorally, because you feel that way, you carry yourself differently. You're more confident in meetings. You want to show up on camera more. You speak differently. You're not crouched under like this, like embarrassed of what you're wearing, like I hope no one sees me from the shops. Your head is up. You have got this. You exude a different aura, not the right word, but you know what I mean. You exude something else. You're more confident in what you are and who you are. And the third is through identity. Your outer world, how you're showing up behaviorally, matches your inner one, how you feel. And that alignment is its own reward signal. You get that dopamine spike from it. And you can extrapolate this even further. Like we all know the concept of like designer bags. When you wear a designer bag or where you see someone wearing a designer bag, what do you think? Do you think wealth? Success? Maybe they were hardworking. Maybe it's a status. And depending on your relationship with money and wealth, a different term might come into your brain with that. But these clothes, designer clothes, creates a specific psychological effect when you wear them and when you perceive them and you see them. So what all of this tells us is getting dressed, feeling good, putting effort into what you wear isn't vanity at all. It's not about dressing for compliments or external validation. Getting dressed can actually be a performance strategy, a productivity strategy, and it can completely influence your mood and the way your brain works. And don't get me wrong, like I love activewear. Not poo-pooing it at all. I have so many Lululemon tights. I'm obsessed when LSKD or Lululemon come out with like a matching chocolate brown set or a burgundy set. Like I love activewear. I exercise a lot. I love going for walks. I have a lot of activewear in my cupboard. And if you love wearing activewear and that's just your style and your MO, like go for it. I'm not like disregarding that in any regard. And I genuinely think activewear can be hot. Like your ass looks so good in a pair of tights. Ask any man. But for me, specifically, the problem was never the clothes. It was the signal I was sending my brain when activewear was being worn for everything. For walks, for working out, for relaxing, for camping, for going on holidays, for in a podcast studio, for running errands, for working at my desk. Your brain literally doesn't know what mode it's meant to be in. For example, I've talked about this before in a productivity lens. Your brain has a different mode from texting versus to writing a report, an essay. It knows what language it has to use. It knows how it's meant to be quick. It knows the grammar and the dialect. And I want you to think about your bed. Random, but makes sense. I talk about how sleep is important. Sleep hygiene is important. And one of the best strategies sleep scientists talk about is using your bed only for 2 things, sleep and sex. Because the moment you start watching Netflix in bed, eating from bed, doom scrolling in bed, your brain stops associating your bed with sleep. It gets a little bit confused. Like, what are we actually doing there? Are we scrolling, which is very activating, very like cortisol stimulating, dopamine stimulating? Or are we sleeping, getting into that parasympathetic? Completely different things. So the quality of your sleep actually decreases. So the same principle applies to what you're wearing. If your activewear is your signal for everything, it is your signal for nothing. It's confusing to you, to your brain, what mode we're meant to be in. And I think this is partly why so many women who work from home also find it so difficult to switch off in the evenings, because it's not just about the laptop being open, but you are physically in your quote unquote home clothes, your relaxation clothes, all the way through the day. There's not a transition period. There's not a transition from your brain to switch from work mode into home mode. And it's why with a lot of women that I work with who struggle with high cortisol, which we all do, let's be honest, creating a physical transition and a physical cue. One of the techniques I use is obviously a decompression walk to physically transition you, but another technique is actually physically changing what you wear. So it's not just stepping out into your house wearing the same clothes, it's physically changing into a different, not alter ego, but you're changing the way what you wear, so your brain's associating that with a different task, with a different mode to be in. So for me, I've got into a really bad habit of like wearing activewear everywhere. When I work from home, I look like a bit of disheveled mess sometimes. And I love my activewear, but I only want to keep my activewear for when I work out, when I'm on walk, when I'm exercising, and Sundays. Because Sundays is like, for me, it's like a bit of a Sunday reset. I do my groceries, I do my errands, I'm cleaning the house. Like I want to wear my activewear then. But every other day of the week, the work day, the Saturday, I want to be wearing something different. I want to be wearing things that feel like me, that step into the version of me that I want to be. It's like that whole act as if principle as well. Because I have so many clothes in my wardrobe that never get a wear because I'm like constantly in activewear or constantly in home clothes because I couldn't be bothered. And I want to set this standard for myself. And clearly I am very invested in my brain and obsessed with productivity. So if that is going to increase my focus and attention at my desk, at work, then I'm going to be doing that. So that's a little challenge I'm setting myself as well. But for you, like, how can we feel more put together in our everyday? How can we feel more confident in what we wear without like feeling like we need to like get dressed up to the nines? And like, I want you to take away from this, it's not like you have to wear a full face of makeup and do a blowout every day and wear your hair down every day. I do not think you need to dress like you're going to an event just to work at your desk. This is about intentionality, not like the amount of effort you put in. And I've narrowed down some strategies, some tangibles, so that you can feel put together, that you can feel confident in what you wear, that you can love the outfit that you're in, but doesn't require like this huge effort. We love like a low effort, but you look high maintenance, high value. That's what we're aiming for here. The first is the 2/3 rule. I love this rule. This is so good for the girls who want that like effortless put together look. So the concept is there are 3 things that we can focus on every day to look more put together: the hair, the skin, and the outfit. And the rule is anytime you want to feel put together, you only have to do 2 out of those 3 things. For example, maybe your hair is like just pulled back in a clip, but your makeup is done and your outfit is really cute and on point. 2 out of 3. Or you know the girls that like do their makeup, but it's like very basic and they've got like a full blowout of their hair, but they're in like casual clothes. They're in like tracksuit vibe. Like think like Molly May. If you think about a lot of the clothing she wears, a lot of times she's in like tracksuits or like elevated tracksuit, but she looks good because her hair is done and her makeup is on. And it's not like a full face of makeup, but it's like that put together makeup look, the effortless makeup look. And I think that this rule takes the pressure off needing to do everything every single day. So for me, when I heard the 2/3 rule, I really, really love this concept. But being honest, I found this really, really hard to do because I have quite like beautifully textured skin. I have scars from when I was really sick and I had chronic acne, and I sometimes get breakouts. I do not have like Hailey Bieber glass skin. So for me and the 2/3 rule, if I wore no makeup and did my hair lovely and did my outfit, to me especially, like it looks out of place. So for me, it's almost like my makeup has to be done. So if I wanted to do like this 2/3 rule and I didn't really want to do my makeup, but like, you know, my hair, my outfit looks nice, I would put on like a light powder foundation and mascara. I don't think it's like 2/3, it's like 2.5 thirds, where it's like low effort makeup, but I feel more confident going out. So I just want to use that as a caveat, that it doesn't have to be like a defining like 2/3 rule, but it's something that maybe you could use to not feel like you have to be like put in all the effort all the time. The second is the minimal put together stack. This is something I've curated, something I do. It's like, what are the minimal things that I can do to feel put together, but it's so minimalist it requires almost no effort. So I kind of like break it down into categories. So for hair, obviously, I'm slicking it back. I've got it into a like really tight, neat bun, takes no effort, bit of gel in it, looks great and looks put together despite it being like low effort. For skin, obviously my skincare routine is on point, so that doesn't count, but it might be like a tinted moisturizer or like a light powder foundation, some mascara, maybe an eyeliner or like some lip gloss, and that's it, you're done. 90 seconds, 2 minutes max, minimalist, put together. The third category is accessories. So this one is so underrated because I honestly feel when you accessorize, when you say you put on your gold jewelry, it instantly elevates any outfit. Say if you're wearing like a plain white t-shirt and jeans, you put on gold jewelry, you cover yourself in your accessories that you love. Maybe it's like a cute little handbag that you wear going out, instantly elevates an outfit, but minimal effort. And then in terms of clothes, maybe it's just throwing on something that's comfy, but is not activewear or not like tracksuit pants. Maybe it's a cute matching linen set, or I recently have this like beautiful satin set. So cute, looks like pajamas. I like tuck it in one side. Gorgeous chocolate brown. Looks elevated, though it's like comfy and minimalist. Or maybe it's like a crisp white t-shirt in jeans. Like that look with a slick back hair, cute pair of sunglasses as an accessory, as well as your gold jewelry, cute little bag. You look on point. And it's so minimalist effort. So the minimal put together stack can be really, really effective for that low effort look that doesn't take a lot of time, but changes how you show up because you feel more confident. You feel more like that version you want to be. The third strategy is actually planning your outfit the night before. This is something I've seen a lot of people do recently, and I do not do this, and this is something that I actually want to implement. Sometimes if I have like a big thing on, like if I'm recording podcasts, if I'm doing a shoot, if I'm going to an event, I will like plan the outfit in my brain, but I never like lay it out. And so I want to do this one little up level to actually start laying out my outfit the night before. Just like people like lay out their activewear so they have no excuse not to wear that or not to go to the gym in the morning. I want to do the same with my outfit, because from like a brain energy point of view, you only have like a limited amount of energy, limited amount of capacity in your brain every single day. And we are constantly bombarded by like a million thoughts. We as women think about so many things every single day. Every second. Like there is so much going on in our brain. And how many times in the morning have we gone through the wardrobe and been like, oh my God, I have nothing to wear. I hate my wardrobe. Nothing fits me. Oh, why is that shirt in the wash? And in the morning, it's creating this cortisol response. We're getting this like anxiety just from working out what to wear. So just doing that little pre-planning the night before actually preserves some of that morning brain capacity that you can actually use for work tasks, for more creative thinking, instead of like second guessing your entire wardrobe at 7 a.m. in the morning. Huge productivity hack in my opinion, so that's why I really want to start doing this. And if you genuinely like do not know what to wear, you do not know what goes together, maybe it's just carving out a little time on a Saturday morning, have a little fun with it. Maybe it's like looking up Pinterest inspiration, pulling out your clothes and just seeing what goes together. I've heard some people like taking photos of their outfit and saving it in like a folder on their phone, so they always know like what outfits goes with what. They know what's in their wardrobe. They're not second guessing. And then you can remember all your like chic little outfits together. And that leads into the last point, intentionally curating your wardrobe. And I'm not talking about like buying what's trendy or like dressing because Hailey Bieber wore that or Kim Kardashian wore that and they look so good in it and like that's on trend. It's outfits that make you feel confident. It's styles that you like. It's silhouettes that make your body shape look good. Like the pieces that you just genuinely love so much. I think of like your wardrobe and your clothes like a collection. You're collecting these pieces that feel like you. So for example, I have big boobs. There are some types of clothes that I cannot wear. They look awful on my body type. If you put me in like a t-shirt, like a plain white t-shirt, it will make me look weird and that I'm like 5 months pregnant because it comes out. It doesn't like hug my shape or hug my figure. But if you put me in like a brand that I love as Odd Muse because it cinches me in, or like a bodysuit, and like a pair of jeans, or like a lower cut shirt instead of like a high neck shirt and a like oversized blazer. It suits my body, and I have to know that. I can't just buy like what looks good on Jane down the hall, because it doesn't necessarily suit my type and my body. And it's not necessarily what I like, even though it might be trendy. So maybe it's like your little cue to do like a little spring clean, or in Australia, like a winter clean. It's like going through your wardrobe and seeing like, what do you like? What do you wear? What do you not wear? What have you like grown out of? What style represents the woman you want to be? Like this one was huge for me, especially because when I looked at my wardrobe, I had so many pieces that I just had for years, but it didn't actually represent the woman that I wanted to be, the woman I wanted to step into, the woman that I wanted to look like every single day. I'd outgrown so many versions. Like I used to wear a lot of denim shorts, but that's just not really the type of outfit or the season that I'm wanting to be in. I would much rather wear like a cute matching linen set to the beach than denim shorts. So it's really having a little audit of your wardrobe and seeing what you like. How can you curate that wardrobe that every piece you're like, oh, I love that. And it's not this like battle of finding clothes. And there are some pieces that honestly elevate every outfit. Like for me, a blazer always elevates any like basic outfit. If I put on a blazer with like a pair of jeans, a white t-shirt and a baseball cap, I still look put together. I am instantly elevated. So it's finding those pieces that genuinely make you feel good, make you feel confident. And it's not like you have to like Marie Kondo your wardrobe, like, does this bring me joy? No, we can just be a bit practical. Find your pieces, curate your wardrobe, get inspiration from Pinterest if you really like. Maybe you might need to do a little bit of shopping to invest in something that feels more like you. Not that go wild, but if that's something that you genuinely want to do, it's not following the trends and not just buying because it's a trend. It's curating something that you love, something that suits your personality, something that you generally see yourself in or matches your body type. So the goal is when you open the wardrobe, you almost have this like beautiful curated collection of clothes that you genuinely love, that you love wearing, that you feel so good in. Okay, so here is what I want you to do tomorrow morning. When you wake up, before you open your laptop, maybe after you've done your beautiful skincare routine, you've poured into you, pick your 2 out of 3. Your hair, your skin, or your clothes. Not all 3, not 0, like 2 things that will make you feel put together. And then put on something that isn't activewear. Unless you're going to the gym, which like in case, go ahead. And if you're like me, bonus points that you've already laid out your outfit the night before, which I'm definitely wanting to do, so that you've mentally prepped it. You're taking away that brain capacity for that task and you're like just ready to go. And when you finish your work day, you change. You take off your clothes, you can put on your comfy clothes, you can have a shower, create a transition to your brain that we're now switching from work mode into home mode. Maybe that's when we put on the activewear. Maybe that's when we get in our tracksuit pants. Because what you wear changes how you feel. It changes how you see yourself. It is telling and signaling to your brain what mode it should be in. Should we be focusing and productive, or should we be relaxing on the couch watching Netflix or binge watching off campus for the second time? And I love clothes, and I loved that the evidence actually supports that what you wear is a huge indicator on not only how you show up every single day, how confident you are, but how focused or productive you are. You can literally change the state that you are in and your mood that you are in by what you wear. So hopefully this like inspired you a little bit to get out of the activewear, to not wear like the business on the top, the trackies on the bottom, and confuse your brain for what actual mode it's in. To wear something that genuinely makes you feel good, to curate your wardrobe with pieces that you love and want to wear every single day. And I'll be genuinely curious if you show up more confidently, if you're more productive at work, and you just feel so much better about yourself. So I hope this was like your little guide for feeling put together and the actual biology behind it. But as always, I hope you have a fabulous rest of the week, and I will see you next week.